Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to review the Wacom Bamboo Ink 2nd generation with a comparison to the Lenovo Precision Pen 2. And I will be testing these two styluses on this Android 10 tablet. This is the Lenovo P11 Pro. Now I don't have any Microsoft Surface devices, so I won't be able to tell you whether or not the Lenovo pen can work on Microsoft Surface devices, but I will try and find that out and let you guys know in the video description or comment section below. But for the Wacom Bamboo Ink, this supports Windows 10 devices, so this will work with Microsoft Surface devices. The Wacom stylus supports Microsoft Pen Protocol as well as Wacom AES, that's Wacom Active Electrostatic Technology, probably version 1 because this stylus doesn't support tilt sensitivity, it only has pressure sensitivity. Whereas the Lenovo Precision Pen 2, it supports WGP, I have no idea what that is, and it supports Wacom AES version 2. So this has tilt as well as pressure sensitivity. At the time of this review, this is priced at around US $50. This is also US $50 but sold as a bundle together with the Lenovo tablet. If you buy this separately, it's likely to cost more. The price will of course vary depending on where and who you buy the product from. So this is the 2nd generation of Wacom Bamboo Ink stylus, which looks very similar to the 1st generation. The simplest way to differentiate this and the early model is to look at the clip here. This clip looks like a paper clip, whereas for the first model it's a flat piece of metal. Unfortunately for me, after I bought this stylus, I found out there is another new pen called the Wacom Bamboo Ink Plus. This should be a new pen because it has tilt sensitivity, whereas this doesn't. So this is probably using Wacom AES version 2. And the design for this pen, you can see it's kind of similar to this, but it reverts to using the flat piece of metal for the pen clip. So this pen looks very similar to the 1st gen. This paper clip design, it's the 2nd gen. So the naming of the pens and also the design, to me it's very confusing. If you can get this Wacom Bamboo Ink Plus at a good price, definitely go for this over the 2nd gen. And the build quality is still very solid. It's a full metal build, has a nice weight to it, very comfortable to hold with the cylindrical body, and the surface has a nice matte texture to it. This stylus is powered by a single 4A battery. It's a pretty small battery. Based on my experience with other styluses that use this battery, the battery life should last for at least 6 months to a year. And I like the fact that you can replace this battery. So this is not a built-in battery, really nice. There is no need to power on the stylus because the stylus is always on. There is a light indicator here between the two buttons though. If the pen is not working as expected, you can press and hold these two buttons to reset the pen. But otherwise, you can just use the two side buttons as shortcuts, and the shortcuts will depend on the apps that you use. So sometimes the shortcuts can be a right click, it can be an eyedropper, or it can be an eraser. And unfortunately, most of the time you will not be able to customize what the shortcut buttons can do. That is especially true with Android devices. Microsoft Surface devices do allow you some level of customization for these buttons. And here we have the pen tip. There are no replacement tips included, so you have to buy your own replacement tips when this wears out. You can see slight movement in and out, but otherwise this pen tip is still considered quite firm, and it's a hard plastic tip. This is an active stylus, so you can see the cursor follow the pen tip. Now there is some input lag, so you can see the cursor is trying to catch up to the pen tip. Now the pen tip is quite smooth on the glass surface, but I wouldn't say it's slippery. So this is great for writing, because when you're writing you want to write fast. The tapered design of the pen allows you to see your stroke beneath the pen tip, and the pen tip is quite accurate in the sense that the cursor is always tracking directly beneath the pen tip. However, the cursor tracking is only accurate up to about maybe half a centimeter or 1/3 of a centimeter to the edges. So here you can see the cursor disappears. You get the same level of cursor tracking accuracy with the Lenovo pen as well. Depending on the apps you use, there can be perfect palm rejection. So for example, with this app I'm using, Wacom Bamboo Paper, I can turn on strict palm rejection and I won't be able to write anything with my finger, or when I place my palm on the display, I won't be able to introduce any stray strokes. So certain apps will allow you to turn on strict palm rejection. And this stylus supports up to 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. So if you choose a brush that has pressure support, you can draw or write with thin and thick lines. There is, however, no support for tilt sensitivity, whereas for the Lenovo Precision Pen 2, you can actually use tilt sensitivity. Right now I'm using Autodesk Sketchbook to show you tilt sensitivity. Right now I'm using Autodesk Sketchbook to show you tilt sensitivity. So tilt sensitivity works rather well here in the sense that I can get the thin lines to transition to thick lines very smoothly and very easily. So let's try the Wacom Bamboo Ink 2nd generation. So when I tilt the stylus, nothing happens. When it comes to writing, both styluses can write really well, as in the app and the pen combination can capture my handwriting style rather accurately. So the diagonal line issue really just affects people who draw more, and the speed at which you are drawing will matter a lot. So if you are drawing quickly, the lines will be straight, but if you are drawing slower, the lines will start to show that micro jitter or wobble. When it comes to drawing vertical lines, the performance is slightly better. So usually with digital styluses like this, the problem really is with drawing slow diagonal lines. So no problem with vertical or horizontal lines with these two styluses. Certain apps will allow you to adjust the pressure sensitivity curve. Two apps that I know of that allows you to do this are Krita and Clip Studio Paint. Alright, let's draw something really quickly to see if the wobble will affect my art. And the things to look out for would be obviously wobble, and also whether or not I can join the lines without any gaps. So yes, I can see the wobble. So to minimize wobble, you do have to draw like faster. Like this is a pen that you probably should use for quick sketching rather than for like slow, deliberate type of art. So for quick sketches like this, it seems fine. I'm able to close up the gaps quite accurately, but I can definitely see the wobble. So if you need precision with your drawing, then it's going to be quite challenging with this stylus as well as with the Lenovo stylus. I think it's alright. Not the best definitely compared to drawing on an iPad or with a Samsung tablet that supports the S Pen. Right, let's switch over to using the Lenovo stylus. Okay, with the Lenovo stylus, I can sort of sense or see that the performance is slightly better, right? There is still wobble, but for some reason I can feel like the performance is slightly better. But you can still see the wobble, obviously, see here. So this again is also much better for, I mean, this pen is going to be more suitable for quick sketches like this. The Apple Pencil and the iPad, the accuracy is going to be better compared to what you see here. Slightly better. And this is actually not too bad. I do enjoy using this stylus more compared to the Wacom Bamboo ink. I do feel like this stylus is slightly more accurate. You probably won't be able to tell just by looking at this sketch, but the line quality is definitely slightly smoother and straighter compared to the Wacom Bamboo ink. Initial activation force for the Lenovo pen is very minimal, so now I'm drawing with very minimal pressure. Initial activation force for the Wacom Bamboo stylus is also quite minimal, but you do have to press down with slightly more pressure to make sure that there are no line breaks like this. So I would say the Lenovo stylus is slightly more sensitive at low pressures. This, by the way, is how thick that line really is. And here I can see some wobble as well. See? Let's see if the pen can maintain consistent pressure. Seems fine. But there is going to be slight jitter. But at least the lines, they are consistent in the width. The last thing I want to talk about is replacement tips. At the time of this video, it is incredibly difficult to find replacement tips for the Lenovo pen. Slightly easier to find tips or nibs for the Wacom Bamboo ink, but even so, the replacement nibs, they are not widely available. You can try searching on Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, and definitely go to Wacom's web store to see if they are available. If you guys have any questions regarding these two styluses, let me know in the comment section below. I will try and find a Microsoft Surface device so that I can test these two styluses with that, but I can't promise that review. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope this video is helpful. See you again.